What up, good people? Welcome to another episode of my Mind Speaks podcast. This is episode 2. And today we're going to dive in deep on issues that have been affecting us as a country. I don't think it's right for us to speak about any other thing apart from what's really bothering us. And I want us to talk about everything from the protests to what the youth are doing, to the resistance, and to the doublespeak that is coming from politicians that we expected to be our leaders, and even dive into that and much more. And I'll start by saying 2025 has been a year of reckoning. I have seen Kenyans being resistant to, oppressiveness and the oppressive nature of our governments. But 2025 has become different. There's something different. There's an urge for change. And I think as a country, we're really clinging to the hope of a better Kenya. And I think the ideals of the young people and how radical we are in trying to look for change is what is driving what we have now termed as the Gen Z revolution, when in reality it's the revolution of the whole system. And there's a need for not just better leaders, but better systems that work for us. And what I am seeing from the past couple of months is the deep need for the change of systems. And I am very happy to be part of a generation that is looking for change, and change that is very ideal and very radical, and how we are not shunned away from we're not shunned away from, holding people accountable. And I'll start by what happened yesterday on Sabasaba. Otherwise, what would have been a day we commemorate the start of multipartyism, to what has become a day that is tainted with the blood of the young people. I would say I deeply condemn, but at this point, I don't think words can speak to the humanity of this type of leaders that we have. And personally, as Joy, I do think it's not a problem with just the president or a problem with just the ruling party that is Kenya Kwanza. No, I think it's a problem of the system and how it is rigged against us and how we've given power to the wrong people. I think it's a time that even as a country, we re-examine our ideals, our value systems, what we think is good, what we think good leadership looks like. And I want to start by saying that it is very possible to have good people in leadership. It is very possible to have people who follow the law to be leaders. It is very real, and it's something that's very possible to have someone with a clean record, someone that is empathetic, someone who hears the people and doesn't want to lead the country with their chest. It's very possible to have a government that listens to you when you cry, when you say that these taxes are oppressive, and that even if they are a must or even if they are necessary, it is very possible to have people in those seats of power who will resonate to what aches us the most. It's very possible. I don't like the fact that as a country we have normalized having criminals as our leaders. How can you, as a person, give power to someone who has shown you in the past that they can pull a trigger and not even shed a tear, that they can pull a trigger at the other person and not even bat an eye? How can that person be a leader? How can that person then lead a generation? How can you give that person so much power and give them it's like literally unawapea bunduki wakuwe zaidi? It's not possible. It's possible for us to be led by good people. It's possible for us to be led by people who have moral systems. It's very possible for us to change what the political scene looks like. It's very possible. And with that, we'll start by the things that have been on social media. We've seen how Kenyans have been. I think the resistance is amazing. And even in the past weekend, we've seen people went to Diani for enjoyment. And I think the narrative when you imekuwa social media, you used to unaambiwa ati there's this thing where the middle class says ati you don't do politics, you want to drink matcha. You want to drink matcha, you want to drink coffee. You don't want to go to the streets and protest. But then you've seen we've seen in the protest that hata kama you're not doing politics will do you. And that has been evident with what happened with summer tides and the events that were happening in the coast, which was amazing. I love to see people go and appreciate art. And events like those are very important because so many families are fed from such events. While my opinions are very different. At first, they were not educated because I thought for a minute that they were backed by blood money, but it's not. And I think even as of right now, I'm teaching myself to learn, to educate myself first before forming an opinion, and not allowing my opinions to be fed by propaganda on social media, which has been very rampant. So I think what I learned from that experience, or what I learned from, seeing from the outside looking in, is that even when you think that you're so far away from the injustices that are committed by a government, wakisemanga mkono ya gava ni refu, really ni refu, because we saw it even with the cancellation of transportation means from Diani to Nairobi. We even saw it yesterday with the protests and how people never got out of the streets, but they did come to our houses. They did come to our places of work. And I don't know what has overcome us as a country where we are so desensitized from pain and from the loss of life. Just going on social media and seeing so many dead bodies on the streets, that is disturbing. And I don't think it's getting the much outrage that it deserves. I think we need to do better, even within ourselves. Even as us, even if we are the victims, we need to do better. We need to educate ourselves. We need to learn to not be so desensitized from that level of grief and pain that we're experiencing. I'll go back to the June 25th protests. I think for me, days like June 25th fill me with a lot of hope. Majority of the time overcome with tears because of how happy I am to see that it's not just me who thinks that we need to do better. It's something that is within every one of us. And even with the political double speak that we are seeing, there's something that is unique about this protest. The fact that they're not being perpetrated or organized by politicians as it were in the previous years, it just goes to show how patriotic we are. But even with that, we see a lot of double speak from what we should be calling our leaders, but politicians, and how they call us all sorts of names, and the noise becomes a little too much. I hate how, as a country, we sort of encourage the bad behavior of our leaders. I do not condone, personally, and I don't give a ear to what these leaders do, to the statements they make that are very, uneducated. I do not agree with calling young people, wanatuitanga thugs, criminals. Yeah, so we just got joined by the amazing MacBruce. Karibu sana.
Shukran sana manze. Pole for coming in late.
No, it's okay.
Nilikuwa nimepanda ndudhi ya mtu aina bike bana sana napitia peti.
It's okay. We were just having a conversation about the state of the nation, the protests, what you're hearing from politicians, what happened on Sabasaba. It's very disgusting, honestly, and I would want to hear your thoughts on it. I mean, you've been in protests. Umetokea kila siku ya protest ndio hadi jana?
Jana, okay. Jana unfortunately sikutokea. Okay, genuinely speaking, I felt like Sabasaba, it's known for the other it's like
politicians.
for the guys who like wale wa kitambo, the guys who helped fight in liberating the nation.
Yeah. It's okay.
So but then here comes ingine here to
June 25th.
Gen Z. Sasa kidogo I felt like they're colliding. So then like I just felt like there's no, personally tulikuwa feel like there's no genuine reason enough ile tu ya kwenda kutokea because okay nitatokea huko nje, what am I demonstrating like you know it's something that we should like inafai kuwe planned, you know kama ile 2050 tulikuwa tunajua we are going to
tulikuwa na agenda.
So like if there's an agenda say for instance kama we are going to like demonstrate kuhusu the police brutality ama ni finance bill, like let it have a plan. Let there be a plan. Like you've seen the other demos venye zimekuwa and they've always like zimekuwa success juu and no matter how much guns wanatuma and whatever but ndio watume guns inamaanisha wanajua. So kama jana it was just some abnormal chaos.
And how is the situation in your area?
Of course haikuwa fiti. It wasn't good. At all. Because even at the moment I had to use like nikitoka kwa how earlier the roads ni hata mtu wa bike avoid, so we had to use like we had to take another route,
a longer route.
Ndo tukuja sasa na Thika road all the way like bro
nikubaya.
So ilikuwa chaos too. Then okay jana it was just all about wezi. Jana I guess it was just a day for wezi man.
And me I personally do think that the state ndo ina organize all this crime, and to an extent I think from the experience that I've had in the year na tu kulana kukua very observant na kukua an active citizen, una realize that violence is a product of the state, si kitu yenye inakujanga tu out of nowhere.
Okay, unajua it all narrows down to, you know, everything you're facing at the moment. Ukianza kufuatilia utajipata you've gone all the way back enzi ya Kenyatta, you feel. So like we just need like
an overhaul.
If it's doing away with the whole regime tuanze tu upya like because,
but is that even possible?
Okay, it's not
impossible
because for instance look at it in the tuangalie musically ama kwa industry,
kwa arts,
kwa for instance ukiangalia way back we used to have radios, telly and like, those were the major source of entertainment now. Media, so at the moment unapata we so evolved such that you want to listen to your favorite song, you don't have to go to the you don't have to tegemea the radio or rather you just log into your YouTube ama kama ni Spotify, play whatever you want. You see how your transition and it's major, like it's something no one knew, no one ever imagined major, like this she was
it's okay, you can cast
this thing was gonna happen. So so same way itafika to point, maybe it might not be like soon, but trust you me, what I know it will reach a time, because truth be told we're getting older, right?
We are.
So the more we're getting older, the older generation is as well fading away. So at some point we will need newer people. Na there's a say usemwa punda sijui punda amechoka kituka hiyo sijui something punda amechoka. Ufika mahali yenyewe everyone gets tired, like you just hata familia yufika mahali unapata kuna mtu atasumbua then inafika mahali yenyewe watu wananao, so unaambiwa wewe ni aje, wewe ishi maisha yako whatever hivyo. So itafika point I guess Trust
But
me.
like even from the protest, because I do think June 25th, 2024 was very genuine. But at the same time, it robbed us of a lot of people. A lot of people lost their lives.
But sasa,
And I think what I'm trying to say is, yes, they'll get a point where vitu zita change, systems kutakuwa na new faces in the system. But I just think that tukifikiria hivyo, then watu wenye wanapata access kwa hizo nini watakuwa just as corrupt na as nini our legacy politicians.
mi na feel okay. Okay, so you feel like
I feel like if it's something that we want to do, if it's something that is resonating with all of us, then it should be something we're doing now.
And that's why unapata we try as much, there's demos, then okay, first of all there's like many ways to demonstrate. Si lazima
Very
tutoke huko
many,
nje and
yes.
whatever, and then you can see how so people are so vocal, people are calling out leaders, like hakuna mse anaogopa. So when a leader is being called out, for instance, president wenu akikuwa called out, he takes like the guy is so much in his feelings, yuko so much in his like it's so yuko emotional sana, so unapata he can't stand to be corrected. So he always feels like chenye anafanya ni
right.
For instance, I don't know ni juzi or jana he said about him sijui kumeka kanisa that's costing I don't know 1.2 billion. Don't you feel okay? How many religions do you have in the country?
Sana,
So him doing that, doesn't it make the Muslim feel like
and I do have a lot of opinions about that actually.
We kind of pushing the nation kuwa like a
Christian nation.
A Christian state, Christianity state or whatever venye utaita, yet tuko na Wahindi, kuna Waislamu, there's pagans actually. I've mingled with a few.
Kuna watu pia hata wa believe in religion, organized religion.
Exactly. So that's
I
so
just feel like what the state is doing.
Then let me ask you this, what's the purpose of him ile alipata hapo iko na makosa gani? Unaona, because a church has always existed in State House, so ile alipata hapo, let's start with iko na makosa gani, then look at it this way again. He said he's not using the like the taxpayers money, he's using his own money.
Alitoa
wacha hata hivyo nani church inasemekana is going to cost 1.2 billion, right? So mtu ana invest pesa yake State House. Do you think that's somebody who's really willing to live?
No, he's not going. He doesn't
that
want
nigga
to
is
live.
literally anatengeneza tu nini yake tu hapo kabaridi, ni kama mtu ako kwake already. And mark my words, like if he doesn't, if tusipo like changamka au jamaa atoke, if he nini's on like 2027 akipita, mark my words, this guy is never going to live. This guy is never going to live. The
nini is not supposed to be in 2027. Actually, I want people to debunk that. Yes.
Yeah. Because
August
even
Uhuru
Uhuru hakumwahi maliza 10 years. Do you realize that?
Yes.
Uhuru never
I did the math.
exhausted this.
I wanted to talk about just how you see how power corrupts, and I want to know like kuliendaje hadi umse akaingia kwa power. We have to understand how did this person get to where he is, what happened to the
church. I'll just be honest, the church ndio ilichangia sana pakubwa. And you see like people, okay, currently everything that's happening, which church imetokea kusema like yo or a pastor or even the state pastor or the state pastor ama nakwanga the state what those cardinal we have a state pastor mwenye uenda kuomba when there's like big functions or whatever, there's an yako kwa mshahara they are being paid, they're always paid. So you tell me umse ajaitokea kuongea like he's never that guy has never.
You see, the positive side of the whole situation that we're experiencing in Kenya is that a lot of hypocrisy is being exposed. The hypocrisy of the church, the hypocrisy of like just organized religion in itself. Juu pia hakuna any imam amesimama akasema anything against it. Pia we are seeing a lot of the hypocrisy of the older generation. Like our parents are very hypocritical because...
Okay, personally I'd say sisi as Kenyans we failed.
Yeah.
Personally, okay, mi si kupiga kura. Tuanzie hapo.
Yeah.
Reason why I didn't vote is because I always know venye game itachezwa. Unaona? Secondly, I felt like hakuna mtu hapo. Personally nilikuwa na feel hakuna mtu anaweza pigia kura hapo. So
and that's the narrative for a lot of young people.
Yeah, so unapata if Ruto, okay, assuming watu walimvotia, honestly speaking, people voted for him. But before watu waende kumvotia, watu wanasahau this guy was one of the guys wenye alikuwa ICC na kesi ya nani?
Cases against
kesi ya
humanity.
2007 post-election violence. Ndio. And then the same guy, we already voted in Uhuru. Uhuru, in as much as akuwa competent, but for some reason things were working. Unaona, like trust me, at a time kaa hii hatukuwa tunalia Uhuru after alikuwa shaingia kuwa the president.
Yeah.
Like sikuwa nimesikia anywhere complaints like it ilikuja kuwa the last like the final year. Yeah, ndo vitu zilianza kuwa ish I guess. So unapata, so tukiassume what maybe people thought kwa ICC nini, so that's where church inaingilia. So akatumia church. Then again there was this the hustler narrative this guy was running with.
Yeah.
So alikuwa na advantage ya church. Ya pili alikuwa na advantage ya the hiyo story ya hustler yenye alikuwa nena. So unapata people were like, you know, the next it was either him or Raila. So everyone, according to venye nilikuwa nasikia or the argument people were how people are arguing out here, it was like Raila has always been there. Uhuru ni mtoto, like, you know, inaitwa deep state, like Raila has always been a deep state. Uhuru pia sasa amegrowia hapo, you know. Now people felt like maybe we need somebody mtu tu an outsider. So that's where kuna hiyo trust, na trust you mean sure other religion when you only voted because of it, like they saw something totally different from like anaka mse belong
Anaka outsider.
So people knew like hawa so wamezoea kuwa pale ndani, so let's try this somebody who mwenye, so for some reason alikuwa na to advantage kiasi, but sasa kuplay along na hiyo story ya church na hapo kwa mtoto wa hustler sijui bro, hapo alibai kila mtu.
That goes to show just how emotional we are as voters. But also at the same time, I wonder what happened. Okay, what I think, honestly, is that the mentality we see in the Kenyan society and just the African society is a product of trauma. Na unajua trauma pia inaoka kama kupenda mtu mwenye anakusumbua. Like toxic relationships. There's a reason why people don't get out of toxic relationships.
No, you know.
And we're in that sense of toxic relationship with our leaders. But at the back of my mind, I keep asking myself, does it get to a point where, with all this anger that we're experiencing as a Kenyan society, does it get to a point where we do realize that we deserve better leaders?
Okay. The only time we as Kenyans realize we need better leaders ni ile time tunafeel tumefinywa like they've really pressed us. So saizo ndo tuko like hey,
we need better people
blah blah blah. Na nitaenda tena kwa story ya Ruto. Okay, the people who are affected by the 2007 to 8 post-election violence, what do you think those people at that time, unadhani ya watu walikuwa na feel aje wenye walikuwa affected?
A lot of rage, I would expect.
Sorry to bring this up, but
it's okay.
When ali hurt more, mostly were the Cukes, sindio?
Sema to Mount Kenya in itself,
the people from
region.
the Mount Kenya region ndo wase walifanya ni ndo watu like ali hurt more, sindio? So at the moment, what do you think those guys who were affected walikuwa na feel?
A lot of
Even
anger,
the non-affected car sisi ulikuwa like at the time mimi mtoi, but unasikia msema amefanya like unaambiwa so unaambiwa like this is the person behind it. Like at that time tuko like bro, we deserve better, but then he comes like unapata we forget too fast pia. But so the only time we realize tunataka ni ile time tumefinywa, unless tuanze ile like for instance let's hold people accountable. Mtu akifanya kitu, let them be like, let's see an accountability design. For instance kesi iliisha, jamaa angekuja aseme I've decided to do this with such and such families or whatever. Do you know there hata mse akikam akisema ni aje nataka kuvai for whatever hapo hivyo unaweza kuja uangalie this guy has done this in the past. Then for instance I'll give you an example with Babu. I don't know why people feel like mse anafaa kuwa jail or whatever, but
you think he shouldn't be in jail?
Personally he should be in jail, but mwenye alikosea, you see he took care of the guy and he still is, sindio? Despite jamaa kukua sasa, si unaona life yake imechange, sindio? But alifanya chenye alifanya, he tried to fix his mistake, sindio? He's taking care of the family nini. Okay, sa zingine hiyo kuenda jail na whatever inaweza kuwa accountable in like that's hiyo pia ni kukua, do you know that's like taking that's like being so
but I don't think he shouldn't be in leadership. I don't think he should be in anywhere near leadership or power. Okay ni sawa, but kitu tu naweza sema ni whatever you did personally, mimi na feel yes angefaa kujailiwa. But then here comes this guy, they come and have an agreement. If this guy decides ni aje, I wish to withdraw, let this guy be free as long as he will be doing this then now that's justice
them.
For him.
Now for now in the case for instance baba mimi ndakwambia ukweli, Budo Jonga was so mad, alichukua hiyo do fulani yenye alikuwa amepewa. Like that's a guy literally the whole world imeona nini imemhapenia whatever, like nimse the whole world imeona whatever is going around him. So unakuja unapatiwa mita mbili, then uko pale I want to thank Ruto, sijui watu wengi unajua watu wengi wamekufa lakini ameamua chukue sijui bra. You thanking the government like mse president, mtu mwenye government yake ndio imeku you know. Sasa unakuja na like hiyo ndo shida yetu. So until that day we will learn to ni aje mistake yenye umse amefanya, umse anafaa kuwa accountable, or either it could be accountable either by punishment or kama ni like as long as you're accountable for chenye umefanya then. But sasa hii story ya kusahau then we're like tumekuja tumeongeleshwa like, sidhani kama tutaienda far, but anyway
I do agree with that. I do agree with that thought that people should be held accountable. And I also agree, say for example, in the case of DJ Evolve and Babu Owino. I do understand that maybe justice for Evolve looks like what Babu Owino is doing right now, but also at the same time, at the back of my mind, I keep asking myself, ni lazima ni Babu afanye hiyo kazi. Kama anataka kukwasi, anasema anataka kuwa governor, is it a must that he should be the one who should be there? Isn't there someone with a clean record that can do the same amount of job? Because that's what I'm saying, that it is very possible for Kenya to have good leaders that have a good track record, like good character, good track record. It is very possible, because when we give someone like Babu Owino, we set precedents that so long as uko na do, we justice kwako tu ni wewe kutoa do kwa mfuko.
Nugget point
yeah,
yako,
we need to stand on business and say this is our non-negotiables, and that is the thing I keep saying even on my social media.
Now you saying we need to stand on business, it all comes back to the victim.
Yes.
So what if the victim,
not just the victim but also as a country?
But now for instance, your story about Babu, you see the victim is like at peace with yako, at peace with him, and so ana feel me, I don't whatever happened, he's been accountable, like,
and that's okay.
But sasa unapata now he's not just alone thinking the same. There's people like him wenye wanafili hivyo. Unapata, okay, tuambiane tu kweli, hadi relationship people do give chances, ndio? And so far mi Babu Owino venye namjua, I think that's just, hiyo ndo kitu mi namjua, na like the worst, I think, like,
yes, and it should be the first and the last,
unaona, of which that shouldn't be happening.
Yes,
unaona, that shouldn't be happening, but the fact that it happened, victim aka like hapa sasa it all narrows down to the victims.
Not necessarily, McBruce. What I'm saying is, it's okay. I'm saying justice for a world might look like that. But even as a country, we have to ask ourselves that public system, our public servants wetu, tunafaa kukuwa na asset standard enye haiwezi kuwa bent, whether you are a billionaire, trillionaire, ama whether you are a man of good character. You can be sasa, okay, say for example, maybe Babu ali change, maybe whatever he was using at that point aliwacha ndo maana he can't do it again. But with or without that, like he needs to be out of the public system, because we can't have a system that rewards criminals, because in the eyes of the law he is a criminal, whether or not he's going to be jailed, whether or not justice has been served for Evolve. The standard is he is a criminal, no? And that is what I'm saying. The problem with thinking like that is the fact that we don't now have like a goal. Tunashingi push the goal kulingana na the person. And that's the reason why we keep having loopholes with which people of the same character as our dear president are able to sit in power. Like the fact that it is there in the law that for you to be a governor, you need to have a degree. But then for some weird reason, we're still being led by people who have not even finished primary school. That is what I'm saying. So we need to have like a set standard of like how we hold our leaders accountable. We do have people who are educated and can be good leaders. We can live in a world, in a country where Sudi is not anywhere in the public,
But you do realize
we have the public system. I'm a public service. We can't have a system without more comment in the public system. Like we can have better leaders.
So like you do realize it all goes back to umse ni favor sasa. Now that's like a reward. That's, I feel like the people, the CSs and whatever are being rewarded for loyalty or whatever,
and it's okay, but we need the thing, just systems wasn't quite fed by our silence and our complacency. Because if we as people had stood on business and said, okay, wewe ni mtu mzuri, unafanya kazi mzuri, endelea kufanya kazi mzuri, but you can't be in the system, you can't be a public servant. And I think this is what we are learning, even as situations are unraveling, as we are seeing the political scene right now, is the fact that as Kenyans, we've been so complacent that every time, just because someone has done one good thing, we reward them with a seat of power. Okay,
but then again, are you a believer?
Yeah, I do believe in God.
You do realize ni David ama ni nani killed somebody's wife ndio abaki. But it's still like you unapata kuna vitu zingine when you're doing them but kuna vitu zingine when you're doing them it's just like ishafanyika then after ushafanya you're like fuck.
Sasa that is the thought that I'm challenging, MacBruce. That is the thought that I'm challenging.
Na sijakata. But sasa okay, I don't want to feel like nikaa na try kutetea mtu like afanye makosa then like nini, but I'm just trying to make you look at this point as well, that at times shit happens.
Yeah.
Now when shit happens, iki happen na you like control. For instance now mimi ama tuseme kuna father out there. Fathers are always the head of the family, sindio?
Ati?
Fathers are always the head of the family.
Yes.
Sindio? So say what do you think, what's the worst you can say enye amefanya enye wife anajua hadi watoi wanajua? What's the worst do you think? Ama ebu just give me an example of anything you feel like the worst a man can do who has a family. Tuseme amefanya hiyo chenye amefanya but then he comes correct, aji collect na rudi like unaona say 5 years ago or 10 years ago he did this but then in between your 10 years is totally, so unapata like yes he blundered but ana ni mtu ameji like ni mtu ameninio mistake yake, ni mtu amereform, ni mtu ndo maana kuna jela. Jela inakonga place uende urudi uende ureform uende like by the time unarudi unafaa kurudi umereform, either urudi kama umereform ama urudi ukiwa mbaya. So hiyo mistake by the time you're doing whatever you're doing, you either come out and change from whatever you did or keep sasa uendelee sasa kukua like follow this and other way you just arrogant and whatever or unaona?
It's okay for people to be given second chances. The thing I'm saying is that the standard should be, as long as you've done any crime, you cannot hold public seats. That's it. You could have done your bad doings, reform, but even after reforming una reformia nyumbani, si ukuje reformie kwa kiti. Unanielewa?
So what happens if you commit something while you're still on that seat? You resign.
That's what I'm saying. You step down and allow the good people to lead the country. Because what we are saying is a system that rewards criminals. That is what I'm saying. The fact that even hata uko grassroots, hata kama ni Marakwet, hata kama ni wapi, as long as huyu mtu haja meet standard ya kushikilia hiyo kiti, he should not be anywhere near the ballot. And that starts from us as people. We are the ones who make up the system. You know, the system is not something that is like si kama a house that has doors. Systems ni vitu we allow as Kenyans. Things we allow as people. You understand? Even let's go back to even relationships. You allow things that you don't question. When someone hits you the first time and you don't speak about it, you are allowing them to do it. So that is like you're setting a precedence for the next thing that person will do. It's like you're rewarding the behavior. In the same sense, when you come to like the public sector, what I'm saying is, even as people, disregarding what the Constitution says, we should have standards. Set standards zenye tunajua hata kama wewe ni mzuri aje, hata kama uko na dimples aje, as long as hauna degree haukali hiyo kiti. And with that means we have what we are doing obviously as of right now, that is always being active. Like we are headed to an election year now, right? What personally as Joy I would want to see changed is that everyone that is going to be elected is merit based, whether or not you're a good person. whether or not I think you're a good person, okay, whether or not, if the merit says you have to have a degree to get to that seat, have that degree, and it needs to be like verified first before you get to the ballot people. Yani kama hujasoma, mbona unakuja kutulead sisi watu tumesoma? And that is what we are seeing in a lot of African countries. The fact that Africans feel the need to reward bad people all the time because of the small good things they do. Okay, and that's why we set a precedence for all these bad leaders. Because for Ruto to feel the way he feels, so egoistic, and he wants to lead the country with his chest, it's because we've allowed him to get to that point. And that is what I'm not saying Kenyans doing. We're not taking accountability. We're not saying enyewe mimi nikivote mse sikufikiria nini alikuwa. Whether or not he was proven guilty, the fact that you have been in court for crimes against humanity, you should not be in a seat of power. So whether or not you're proven guilty, so long as you have been in court for a corruption case, you should not be in power, because we have good people. No. We are not short of good people.
We do.
Yeah.
But sasa nikwambie kitu ingine. Something else you need to know is until that day, until ile siku, like we will unite wote. Like,
but hiyo siku ndio hii. The day of reckoning is here.
No, we are not united. You know why we are not united?
Why?
The reason as to why I'm saying we are not united. The fact that guns wanapatikana. We are not united.
Okay. Wacha nikwambie why we are united. We are united because even that goon, when you speak to them, apart from the fact that he has been hired by the state too.
The reason nakwambia we are not united is, trust person. You me, tungekuwa united. Like, if we would have been united, let's say, leave alone even the achana na mapolisi, just we as the normal citizens, tungekuwa united. Unataka kuniambia okay, allegedly Sakaja ndo ilikuwa inasemekana alikuwa anakanja the goons ndio watu. So do you want to tell me if we were like united kuna MP atakuja ama whoever is coming to tell you ni aje, we don't want, yet you know well proper in your right senses the demos are for a better country, but then you getting paid 200 500 bob or thou to go disrupt a peaceful, like bro, all we had is just a phone, flag na firimbi. Unapewa 200 ama 500 uende udisrupt wase. Wewe mwenye unapewa hiyo 200 500 unapewa hadi rungu. If you were united, do you think mse pale angekuwa convinced achukue hiyo nini kama tungekuwa united? Would be like no, bro.
But sasa ukifikiria hivyo basi unity
we are not united.
I think we're
still not united for real.
I think we're headed there, no?
At the moment already tena stories are like, you know, the political leaders already washaanza kutudrive tena back to ile stories on is tribalism, tribal politics and whatever. If you saw jana wasi wakisumu wa like, hey, sijui we are better with sijui let the government work, cukes da. Ukiangalia Gachagua huku is like, yo, they are fighting sasa he was impeached, now it's like Kikuzu are being fought da. The political wengine wako like wenye wanatumwa sijui wakuja waandamane ni wasapere because of sijui bra, until the day we'll have like the same voice. Unaona this, I wish niliona like nusema nilikuwa privileged kuona Kibaki the whole campaign period ya NAK. As a kid, I don't know, sijui nini ilikuwa kwa kichwangu, but imagine nilikuwa nafuata hizo nini kamtoi na wafuata, nilikuwa tu na kierere fulani tukiani mwafuata sijui nini bra. At the time kulikuwa na one voice, na the one voice was yote yawezekana bila Moi. So until tufike kama 2002 actually ilipata sijui nilikuwa class 2 so until turudi hadi tufike turudi hadi class 2 I mean turudi tuko united kama hiyo time. That's when I feel like kutakuwa na, you know, revolution inakamingi wase waki unite, not when people are divided.
Anyway, as we conclude, what I want to say is that I do think Kenyans are united. Whether we can be divided by a lot of things, but I think the need for change and the need for a better country is the uniting factor. Na iyo need itatupata tu at our own points. Na I think inatupata individually very slowly. Yeah, so I do think we are united. I do think the revolution is happening. I just think we need to have things that unite us. We have to have like set standards.
Yeah,
All of us when you to agree is in our non-negotiables.
I feel
period.
like we just I feel we are united verbally. Yeah.
But it will get there.
Until tukwe, because you walk wa IG. There are still celebs who are not calling out the government. We are not united. Tuko tu united ile time tumekaa nawe tunapiga story this government. Manzi unaona chenye inafanyika dada. Yeah, nini. At there we'll have like at the moment we'll have a heart to heart talk yada you know. But then kwa ground sasa and you can see it happening manzi. Tukikam maandamano people goons wana.
But like, what do we need to do better? Because we can't always be pointing out on the wrong things. What do we need to do better?
We just need to be united.
Period.
That's all.
Yeah.
So until we tukwe tu na hiyo unity fulani, because on Twitter sijui who is fighting who, mtu ameshuku nani ana sijui so and so is a sellout, then again like we are fighting just amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
So na hizo na vitu kama hizo utapata zitafanya nani anaweza rudi vibaya sana. So like at the moment we have nani kidogo tu we have Mr. anaitwa nani Maraga. I swear I'd wake up mi hata tuseme ati sijui hiyo siku kama ni mi na kwanza I'll make sure I take my nini nachukua kura sijui ni kurenew ama ni kuchukua juu niko na ya 2017 sijui
ka like 2017 Will you vote 2017?
I voted on 2017.
Okay.
Sasa
2027
unless nani Maraga tuseme ame nini na it's confirmed he's
on the ballot.
I think he's the one at the moment, he's the one who fits all the checkbox zote ni anazitake, because this guy has been a judge. I haven't had any case of him being corrupt or like me sijui I don't know any case ya Maraga, like I don't know any scandal ya Maraga. I swear sijui. So tukakuja sasa tuungane wote na tuamue ni yeye, you know. Kuna Omkia Omtata Salasia yemniona pia na Vai. Sasa unaona then we are all mediocres manzi. Sasa hebu wewe niambie, we all want a good governance, but then at the same time out wako kwa hiyo governance wenye wana feel like mtu, for instance mimi najiambia mtu kama Salasia ndio amepiga one term ka MP. He should at least consider kuendelea kufanya maendeleo huko kwake design. By the time huyo jamaa kuja kufight for presidency tuko like bra, mnaona chenye msi amefanyia Kakamega huko ama whatever ni huko Malia. So sasa kwangu anakaa mediocre, anakaa joka because bro
umedu
yes anafanya job is working yes but mtu umeona mi ningekuwa yeye nisikie mtu kama Maraga amesema anataka kunini I'd step down
to give that guy
like
a
I'd be like bro mi niko sure naweza leta change but let's
give this
now
person
juu akona fans of course, trust you me, ikifika day ya kuvote niko sure people will vote for him but why don't you take our say the little people you have, gather them, campaign for this one guy, because I'm sure even him he knows kwa yao watu wote wenye wamesema they want to like vie for presidency, Maraga is the only one, trust Maraga is the only one mwenye anatiki hizo nini zote because if you look at Matiangi is yeye kwa kichwa ngumu, like he doesn't obey court orders. Ule msee after 2017 that ni 2017 amani yo nini a child was murdered, ile story ya
demo
like hiyo familia hadi wa leo I don't know even if they've ever been nini bra. So unless tukwe too serious too as a nation, mi bado na feel we are tuko vocal sana kuliko venye tuna act.
Okay.
Yeah. So unless tuache tu kukua vocal na to act like we are all united, we are all in this design. We niambie Ruto akose watu ama okay si Ruto ama Ruto wakose watu wa kulipa goons sawa wenye wanafaa kulipa wakuje. Do you think maandamano nani unadhani sasa watatusimamisha maandamano? Si ni polisi peke yake
tu,
ni polisi tu peke yake. Na sasa ikifika ni polisi let's assume we are all united design. Kama hiyo maandamano yenye li happen watu wameamua tunataka kukuja tao, watu wameamua wanataka kuja tao. Another way ya kudemonstrate, kujeni wamweni mnakaa chini na mnakaa tu chini na mnakaa chini hapo na hakuna kitu inafanyika barabara. Watu tu tumeamua leo there's nothing. Do you know tukiamua we are doing that, of course kuna watu watakuwa affected, wale watu wa hustle daily hand to mouth and whatever, but trust me, doing that tu wiki moja peke yake is enough kuleta change, like a whole week consistency. Watu hata unapata watu wanaweza kuwa na kesha. Of course nikoshua kitu kayo ikafanyika, there's something like UNHCR or whatever, of course tunaonekana huko nje nini zinaweza tokea and my NGOs zikamna food stuff nini because evil unless we are all united design. Sasa huko nje hadi inaonekana it's now Kenyans
it's a unified voice
against the so unless tukue
so unity is the only answer.
Unity is the only way to the liberation of freedom or whatever we'll call it.
Thank you for coming.
Asante sana man. Thank you for having me manze.
Anytime. Yeah.